nurses. In my most recent video, I shared my transition to moving to the United States with my family as an agency staffing nurse immigrant. Now, let's get more precise about the points I've discussed in that video, particularly concerning the cost for things like food, gas, utilities, internet, and mobile service. I am aware that you are already doing the math on your budget by now while you are still there in the Philippines. Believe me, I've been there and done that. So in this video, I'm going to break down your basic and priority expenses, your predicted revenue based on the state's nurse prevailing wage. Where am I this very moment? So I will base that on the Maryland prevailing wage for nurses. And also the statutory deductions like taxes and insurance. So these are the unavoidable deductions you will have. I'm also going to demonstrate the potential cash flow that working as an entry-level registered nurse in the USA could bring you. But before that, disclaimer muna tayo. So, I assume no responsibility or liability for any errors or omissions in the content of my video and the information that I'm about to give you. The information contained in this video is provided on basis with no guarantees of completeness, accuracy, usefulness, or timeliness. So the information that I'm about to share is based on my knowledge and my experience living here in the USA since September 2022. Okay? I will try to keep this as brief as possible. I'm going to be very transparent with you about the content in this video. So while I'm discussing things, I'm going to show you some clips of our fun time and tour around the state and nearby states para naman di kayo maboard sa mukha ko while I'm talking. You know, you really need to go out, have fun, and distress while working here. Sabi nga nila, experience is best investment, di ba? So, go out. Hindi lang para sa'yo, for your kids. You need to expose them sa environment para naman hindi sila maboard or laging nakakulong sa apartment. So, you need to expose them for their development. And also for you, for your mental health. Go out. Hindi expensive gumala dito. Just fill the tank of your car and hit the road. Find some place to unwind. So kami, we love to visit national parks, museum, amusement park. Ang style namin is we prepare our own food and eat in a picnic style on the location where we are going. So I'm mentioning this kasi kailangan mo talaga lumabas for your own, for your own sake. So go out, have some pictures, do some TikTok, like that. Stuff like that. Alright, so in this video, we have two main topics. Number one, day-to-day expenses and projected budget. In this section, I will cover projected weekly expenses, utilities expenses, internet cost, and gasoline. I will also discuss briefly how to choose and acquire an internet provider, mobile and data plan fees, how to acquire a mobile number and data plan, including how to choose your provider. This budgeting is based on our experience. Nevertheless, I cannot guarantee that it has been applied to all states in the USA. Di naman siguro nagkakalayo mga bilihin sa mga different states in the US. Topic number 2, projected net income based on nurses' prevailing wages after all the deduction. In this part, I'm providing you with an estimated net income based on Maryland's cost of living and nurses' current pay. This may not apply again to all places in the USA, but you will have a starting point and can conduct your own study and budget projection before moving here and settling in the state where you will be employed. So it is a good start for you. All right, let's move on. Topic number 1. So we live in Rockville, Maryland. We do our own groceries weekly. Our budget for food is roughly $200 weekly, but this budget is good for a family of 4, 2 adults, 1 teenager, and 1 toddler. Actually, 200 is more than enough. So let's say 150. Let's cut that budget, $150 per month. Kasi minsan nakakagasto lang kami ng 150 to 180 per week. So sa 150 na yan, makakabili ka na ng pack of beef. 2 beses to 3 beses mo na yan lulutuin. A pack of chicken, 2 to 3 din na lutuan. And fish, seafoods, veggies. So sa 150, you will cover your basic needs for a week, including diaper and some of the basic needs like toiletries, shampoo, conditioner, sabong panlaba, sabong pangligo, yung mga ganyang bagay. But only the basics, okay? Di kasama dyan yung makeup ni misis mo and ka-etchersan mo. Avoid eating outside always. That's one of the things that you need to avoid. Kasi mahal siya, magluto na lang kayo kasi kakain ka sa labas. You need to give tips. So, iwasan nyo yan kasi makaka-add yan ng expenses nyo. Alright, so our favorite supermarket is Walmart kasi mas mura siya at pang-publiko. You can also do bulk purchases, grocery purchase sa Sam's Club, Costco, but you just need to have a membership. Actually, gusto sana namin yan but it is away or far from our apartment. Kaya sa Walmart lang kami kasi dyan mas malapit. Ang paborito naming store or supermarket aside from Walmart is 99 Runs. This is one of our favorite. Kasi more on Asian food siya. Meron din dun some Filipino stuff and goods. Meron ding H Smart Asian supermarket here. At saka meron din dito nearby in our place a Filipino store. Kaso medyo mahal yung price kaya yung mga toyo lang minsan, Silver Swan, Tato Puti ang mga binibili namin doon. So safe to say 150 is enough for a week. Lalo na siguro kung magaling ka mag-grocery at magluto, sanay ka sa mga ganyan, mas makakatipid ka pa. You can cut that 150 more pa siguro. Alright, so utilities. If the utilities in your apartment building are not included in the rent, you must set aside money for that. Siguro 250 to 300. So you should think about selecting an apartment that has those amenities. Do some preliminary research on the place where you'll be employed. Calculate the cost. Know what is included in the payment of the apartment. Ganun ang gawin nyo. Sa amin, included na sa monthly rent namin yung utilities. Utilities like gas, electricity, water, maintenance, pipe checking, sewage, and plumbing maintenance, and more. Pati yung parking fee, kasama na dun sa binabayaran namin. And then, gasoline. My monthly gas budget for my vehicle is 100 to 150. So that is sufficient for a monthly travel to my workplace, 15 minutes away from our apartment, and a weekly grocery travel 20 minutes away from our apartment. Kung gusto mo mamasyal, you need to add budget for that. You need to add budget sa gasolina mo. So the farthest we have been traveled was 5 hours away from our home. My tank was depleted by half sa 5 hours na yan. Nakalahati niya yung tank ko one way. The cost of full tank for my car, I have a RAV4, so $45, yun yung full tank para sa RAV4, equivalent to 14.5 gallons nowadays. Let's say 2 to 3 times ako a month nagpapagas, kaya yung budget ko is 100 to 150. Alright? So, how about internet? Siyempre, internet connection is a must nowadays. There's a variety of internet provider you can choose from. Here's the list of internet providers in the USA. So, among the tops, AT&T and Verizon. Third is the Xfinity Internet. So, that is the list. So how to choose best internet service provider? I will run through briefly this thing. So it is simple to compare some criteria, diba? Such as pricing when looking for an internet provider. Other factors such as customer service are harder to evaluate unless meron kang first-hand experience with the company. So para matulungan ko kayo to how to choose internet provider here in the USA, I'll go some of the most significant considerations. Number one is yung gasto, the cost. So the cost of different internet providers and connection types varies widely. Pero yung pinakamura is nasa $15 per month. Pero makakakuha ka lang ng internet speeds of 30 megabits per second. So that is around $15 per month. But there can be certain limitation and eligibility for that. Siguro that kind of internet speed is sufficient for basic online browsing lang, HD movie streaming, and other high bandwidth activities. So on the opposite end of the scale, an ultra-fast gigabit connection typically costs at least $65 to $80 per month. We choose Xfinity for a lot of reasons. I'm not advertising the company, pero it's a good deal. I'm paying $64 per month for 400 megabits per second speed internet. May mga packages or add-ons includes tons of TV channels, and meron silang free Comcast modem. I've said meron namang 15 to 30 per month dollar na internet fee, so you can still cut down that budget internet but less speed and add-ons. Kasi I just need the high speed because I'm playing games online in my lax time to distress. Online games like Dota. Diba? I'm still playing Dota. Dota is life. Alright, the next thing to consider is speed. So yun nga, yung sabi ko, if you're like a gamer, you're uploading a lot of videos, you're downloading a lot of movies, so you need to consider upgrading your internet speed to a higher speed. Okay, next is reliability. Kailangan reliable yung internet natin. It can be incredibly frustrating when you want to do something online, especially something important, only to find out that your internet service has gone down, di ba? So consider that. In-include ko to kasi billing. This another thing to consider. I just included this kasi some internet bills are simple to grasp. Other might be nearly impossible to understand, lalo na dito sa US. Ang daming, like if you receive bills, parang ang daming taxes, ang daming additional, and it's hard to understand sometimes. So select an internet provider that sends bills that are simple to read. And additionally, search for an internet service provider that enables you to pay using your preferred method. Ako, I use like Apple Pay, a click away and then done. So consider that. If you want paper check, you can also do that. So it's up to you. So yun yung mga consideration na ma-advise ko in choosing an internet provider. Then what are the types of internet services that they have here in the US? So I will mention this. So we have here cable, fiber optic, satellite, and DSL. I will not discuss this one by one because I think you just want to know which one is the fastest and the same time affordable, right? So cable internet is the most common and fast enough. Downside niya lang is slow uploading speed. But if you want to have both, like high uploading speed and fast downloading speed, choose fiber internet or fiber optic internet. Pero meron lang siyang kamahalan. Diba? So yung sa amin is cable internet. That's good for us. Now, how about mobile number and data plan? So it is important to compare providers based on your needs when choosing mobile number and data plan. When we talk about cell phone plan, yun yung mga i-consider mo based sa pangangailangan mo. So, you might choose which plan give the most features for your money by taking into account your data and app consumption as well as yung add-ons na gusto mo. So yung meron dito mga Tele, Economy, Mint Mobile, Visible, and T-Mobile. They come out of top sa mga company nag-offer ng data plan and mobile numbers plan. So ano yung mga types ng cellphone plans? We have postpaid, prepaid, pay as you go. So yung postpaid is parang magsiset up ka ng service with a provider and then pay a bill each month. So ito yung pinaka-common dito sa US. Ito rin yung sa amin. So providers that offer these plans include Verizon and T-Mobile. Si Verizon places the best unlimited cell phone plans currently in the US. Pero si T-Mobile places siya sa the best family cell phone plans. Kasi meron silang program like you buy the SIM card or you buy the mobile plan and the data plan, and then you can like add extension kung gusto mong magkaroon ng mobile plan yung anak mo at saka yung asawa mo. So you will add, but less na lang yung fee na babayaran mo. Yung prepaid plans naman, yan yung they allow you to buy service for a specific amount of time. Some providers that offer prepaid plans include Mint Mobile and Visible Mobile. I think ito yung gaya sa Globe. Merong ganito sa Globe, di ba? Para kang bibili ka ng card, ilo-load mo. So yun. And then pay-as-you-go plans, they will let you use their service and pay for it on an incremental basis. Or you can add talking time, texting time, data each month. Meron din ganito sa Pinas, di ba? Yung magsisend tayo ng code and then pipili tayo ng mga sa Globe and Smart. Meron ganito. So, paano ka pumili ng cellphone plan? How to choose your cellphone plan? Dito, it's entirely depends on you. But what can I advise is, if you don't need data, like data plan or internet on your phone, mabilis na internet sa phone mo, so pili ka ng mas mura lang na data plan para makakatipid ka. But if you are like using your phone all the time for an internet, so yun, depende talaga. So yung sa amin kasi, our friend bought it for us under her name, under her account as an extension. Yan yung sinasabi ko sa T-Mobile. So pwedeng ganun sa T-Mobile. So ang nangyari, sa kanila kami bumabayad monthly, but the phone number is legally owned by us and registered under our social security number. But the T-Mobile account is under our friend's name. So nakatipid kami kasi instead of paying 125 per month, we're only paying 60 per month for 3 Magenta Max plans. Kasi one plan cost you $85 per month. Then if you add an extension, another $20. Kaya total supposed to be total of $125 per month. So imagine, we're just paying $60 per month. So we're lucky we have a friend here. Alright, so ganun lang. Then let's move on to topic number 2. So dito tayo medyo magko-concentrate. I think you will be interested in this topic. So topic number 2 is projected net income based on nurses' prevailing wage after all the deductions. So I'm basing the Maryland's nurses' prevailing wage in this topic. So first, what is prevailing wage? Prevailing wage laws establish salary and benefits rates depending on market condition, which are usually higher than the overall minimum. So this prevailing wage is constantly changing from a month, a year, or depends on market conditions. So you need to know your state's prevailing wage for a registered nurse. Dapat ang marireceive mo or nasa contract mo is equal or more than that. So that's why, let's say We'll give, you will receive a $40 per hour here. So 36 times 40 is equal to 1,440. So you're receiving 1,440 per week. Possibly your rate is higher than that. If not naman, if like you're saving 37 or 35 per hour, I'm pretty sure that your employer give you some extra benefits like cost of living allowance, incentives para ma-reach nyo yung above 40 na average. If not, I don't know. I think most of you will have like within 40 range. May mga ibang contract na alam ko na like they are only having 37 per hour or they are only having 32 per hour pero yung employer nila giving some extra benefits like cost of living allowance additional of 6, additional of 7, additional of 8 if they are going here in Maryland. So may mga ganong contract. Meron naman yung pag walang ganong contract pero like meron silang contract rate of 37 pero pagdating nila dito yung facility mag-a-add ng some night differential if you are working in the night and mag-a-add ng some benefits like additional 2, additional 3, may mga ganon. So I think I'm almost correct no by saying that you will have more than 40 per hour here in Maryland. But let's just keep that 40 as an example. You work 36 hours a week and your rate is 40. 36 hours times 37 is equal to 1,440. So you will have gross income of 1,440 per week. So now, what are the statutory deduction or mandatory deduction? Of course, the taxes and your insurance. On top of that, your dues and expenses, yung mga minention ko na day-to-day expenses, right? So let's get started on the taxes. When I was in the Philippines, I did a lot of study on how to, I did a lot of research on how much net income I would have here and what are the taxes and deduction I might be able to get. Sa taxes, I discovered that this software or website, the name of the website is, I'm posting on the screen, smartasset.com, pay calculator. So it's quite close to being correct. So while you're there, you may utilize it to estimate your cash flow. Okay, for example, you have $40 per hour pay rate. So you ended up having 1,440 per week. Let's deduct the estimated tax using the smartasset.com calculator. Okay, so I will share my screen so that you can see how will I calculate it using the smartasset.com. You go to paycheck calculator. Sa paycheck calculator, choose your hourly rate. So here I already put 40, then 36 hours per hour. Here, so I already put 40. So naka semi-monthly take-home pay tayo, meaning bi-weekly na payment yan. So i-change natin yan. I-click nyo yung account sign. So kung single or married kayo, piliin yung marital status. So for example, let's say for example married, and then you're having weekly. You're receiving your salary weekly. That's the pay frequency. And then are you exempt from any taxes? So lalagyan natin dyan no. No, of course. So naka-weekly tayo. Let's see kung magkano. Done. And then before that pala, you need to balik tayo dun. Kailangan mo ilagay yung saan ka nakatira, your location mo. So let's use my zip code. Okay, let's use Bethesda. Bethesda is Montgomery County, one of the safest county. So 20810. Tingnan natin kung for example sa Bethesda kayo nakatira. and weekly kayo sa salary, tapos ito yung mga binabawas sa'yo na taxes, federal, state, local. Let's see. Okay. So how much? Hourly wage is 40, hours per period is 36, that is weekly. So your estimated weekly take-home pay is 1,056. So bakit 1,056 na lang ang marireceive mo sa 1,440? Kasi ito yung mga binabawas nila dito. This is almost the same actually sa actual. Ito yung mga taxes na meron kang 273 minus 273 or 18.99% sa taxes. Anong taxes yan? Federal income, 11.45%. State income, 4.48%. Local income is 3.06% currently. So, kaya total of 273. Ang laki, di ba? Then, aside from that, di ba, may tatlong tax ka na. Meron ka pang pang-apat. Ito yung 7.65%, 110. Yan yung FICA and state insurance taxes. Mandatory yan. Yan yung Social Security and Medicare. So, yan yung binabawas niya. So, total of 110 plus 273, yan yung bawas sa salary mo. Kaya, you will end up having like 1,056, 1,440 na gross paycheck mo. Okay? Ngayon, hindi pa kasali dyan yung medical insurance mo, dental, and vision. So, let's see kung i-add natin yan. Belong yan sa pre-tax deductions. So, in-include lang nila dito para ma-estimate mo. Kung i-add mo dyan yung insurance mo, ma-estimate mo kung magkano yung matitira sa'yo. So, let's add that. Pre-tax deduction. So, yan. So, ang ilalagay lang natin dito is yung pinakakailangan lang natin muna na deduction. Of course, is medical insurance. So, example yung binabayaran kong insurance na lang, medical, 150. So, 150 ang binabayaran ko for family of 4. Yung insurance namin is Aetna. This is one of the major insurance here in the US. And then sa dental, I'm paying $15 per week. Medyo may kamahalan ng dental service dito. And then sa vision, I'm only paying 4. Alright. So yan. Let's see. Done. An example ko lang yung insurance na binabayaran ko. Okay. Done. Tingnan natin. So, magkano matira sa 40? So, meron kang $934 per week take-home pay. Yan yung matitira sa'yo. So, dyan natin i-base naman yun. So, for example, kung yan ang marireceive mo, ibawas natin dyan yung mga day-to-day expenditures mo. Pati na rin yung babayaran mo sa kotse at saka sa car insurance mo. So, let's do that. You have $40 per hour and then 36 hours a week. And then you ended up having $934 per week as a take-home pay. Then times 4 para i-total natin for times 4 for good for 1 month. 1 month siya. So, magkano yung marireceive mo per month take-home pay? You will have 3,736 sa 40 per hour rate na yan. Now, i-minus na natin yung mga unavoidable expenses. May matitira pa kaya? Let's see. 3,736 minus your weekly food na 150, equivalent of, that is equal to $600 per month. Foods and groceries. And then yung apartment mo. Example, you found an apartment na 1,800. Utilities are not included. Minus 1,800. And then, of course, sa utilities mo, let's say the maximum of 300 per month. Babayaran mo sa kuryente, tubig, mga ganyang bagay. So, minus 300. How about naman yung sasakyan mo? So, for example, meron kang car loan na 800 per month, including na dyan yung insurance. Ima-minus natin yan. So, matitira na lang sa iyo is, you will have $236. So, let's continue. From $236, what other expenses you cannot run and hide from it? Of course, gasoline. So, let's say may budget ka na $150 per month na gasolina. Ano pa, on top of that, magbabawas pa tayo ng babayaran nating internet service. For example, nag-avail ka ng $65 per month na 400 megabits per second. And then, aside from that, ano pa, meron kang mobile plan network. Kinuha mo yung magenta plan ng T-Mobile na $85 per month. So, let's say, ikaw lang ang merong mobile. Huwag na natin muna isama yung anak mo at saka yung asawa mo. So, $85 minus $85 per month. With all of these expenses, food, apartment, utilities such as gas, water, electricity, and etc., petrol, internet cost, mobile network plan cost, you will end up short of minus $64. So, if happen to be that you have that average rate here in Maryland and no other additions to that rate, you really need to have an extra work time to compensate for your needs. That's what having enough pocket money is a must. That's the reason why we need to have an enough pocket money para may fallback ka while hindi ka pa allowed mag-overtime. Usually 2 to 3 months mostly bago ka makapag-racket because you will undergo orientation pa sa facility mo. Alright? So baka hindi ka pa makakapag-overtime immediately. Alright, so since you have that negative cash flow, you are now forced to have an overtime. Okay, let's see how much you will have if you are to have an extra 10 hours overtime per week with that rate. Alright, so gagamitin natin ulit si smartasset.com. Okay, let's go to the smartasset.com. So here, all you need to do, you add overtime. Let's see how much you will have if you are to have an extra 10 hours overtime per week with that rate. Alright, so gagamitin natin ulit si smartasset.com. Okay, let's go to the smartasset.com. So here, all you need to do, you add overtime. So for usually ang overtime dito sa Maryland, and not exactly the same, but usually ang binabayad nila sa overtime is times 1.5 sa salary rate mo. Minsan times 2 pa. Minsan times 2.5. May mga instances naman na minsan tinatawagan ka like off ka tapos tatawagan ka. You wanna have extra on top of your salary, we will add you 35, we will add you 45, just come anytime you want, like that. So, may mga ganyang tawag minsan kasi sobrang ang understaffed dito. So, grab it. Pag meron kang ganun, wala ka namang ginagawa, sige, mag-duty ka. Duty lang ng duty. So, overtime, for example, you have, magkano ba ang i-calculate nga natin? For example, 40 times 1.5, so meron kang 60 per hour. So, overtime hourly wage is 60. At tapos, nag-overtime ka lang for, let's say, 10 hours lang. Tinatamad ka, 10 hours lang gusto mo, ayaw mong tapusin yung 12 hours. So, your estimated weekly take-home pay is 1,342. So, yan na yung mo. Bawas na dyan yung ito. Tingnan mo yung naging tumaas yung taxes mo. Kasi, the more ka nag-earn ng marami, the more ka rin nilang itatax. So, wala kang takas dito. That's why I don't advise you to like 2 shift overtime a week. Lugi ka talaga. Ipakita ko sa inyo kung bakit lugi ka. For example, nag 24 hours a week ka, 2 overtime ka na 12 hours sa isang linggo. So, yan yung kikitain mo, no? Tingnan mo yung binabawas nilang taxes, 637. At tapos meron pang 207. Yung insurance, yung pre-tax deduction mo, yung insurance at saka fixed na yan, syempre. So, 1,866 lang. Anong diferensya kung one shift lang a week? Ang liit lang, 400 different lang. Parang, ewan ko kung worth it magpagod ng ganun. Isang overtime lang a week, that's enough. So, yun. So, let's say, nag-overtime ka, 10 hours lang yung example ko, no? So, 10 hours lang. So, meron ka ng 1,342 net income per week. 1,342 times 4. So meron ka ng 5,368 per month net income minus 600 food minus 1,800 apartment minus your 300 utilities, minus 800 mo na car and insurance, minus 150, minus 65 internet, and then minus 85 na mobile. So, you see, makakasave ka ng 1,568 pag nag-overtime ka ng 10 hours. So, buhay pala, no? Meron ka pang panggala sa 1,568 na yan per month. Meron ka pang panggala. But, I'm telling you, itong 800 car with insurance, I don't know kung mahirap hanapin ng ganyang rate ng car. Siguro, kung okay lang sa'yo gumamit ng used car, yung reliability ng car is, questionable. Siguro, you need to have like 1,000 budget for car if you really want to have a good car like SUV, Highlander, RAV4, mga ganyang car na bago, direct from the casa, or kung kukuha ka sa international auto source, budgetan mo ng 1,000, but not necessary naman na 1,000. It's really up to you. Pero ang goal natin is makatipid. So, hanap kayo ng car dealer na magbibigay sa'yo ng mababang rate. Well, I don't know how to do that. Hindi ako makaka-advise kasi ako mismo tinry kong maghanap, and since I don't like to have a used car kasi hindi ako magaling sa technicalities ng car and I don't know much about car. Pag nasiraan ako, I don't know what to do. So, pinili ko na lang yung bago, fresh from the Toyota kasi may mga free services sila, yung maintenance, ibabalik ko lang sa kanila kung meron akong kailangan ipaayos. Good for 7 years. So, yun. Maraming nag-advise sa akin na if you want to like cut off that budget of the car, magpapa-refinance daw. Pero nagpa-advise ako, refinancing is like babalik ka sa bababa yung monthly payment mo pero babalik ka sa one. I don't know, maybe I will trade in my car soon pag meron na akong enough credit score kasi kailangan ko ng malaking sasakyan, but that's not my priority. Ang priority is makaipon and you have a good health at the same time. Alright, so yan. Again, this is purely based on my experience. Yang mga expenses na yan, that is similar to our own expenses living here in Maryland. So, mabubuhay pala sa ganyang pay rate. That's not my rate. I'm just giving you a random rate. I mean, the average rate that a nurse must have. I'm sure naman siguro mas malaki pa dyan yung rate na marireceive nyo pag dito kayo pumunta. So, the pay rate that I have you as an example is the average pay rate that a nurse can have. Sa umpisa lang naman mahirap. Believe me, there are tons of opportunities here that I cannot tell you in this video kasi bound pa ako sa contract sa agency. With my current rate, actually we're tight. I need to do overtime to save and pay for our extras. Kung may sinusuportahan kayo sa Pinas, tell them to give you time to establish before ka makapadala ng malaki. And let them know ang pagod nyo dito para magtipid din sila, no? Hindi yung akala nila pinupulot natin yung pera dito. Tell them, hindi porket nandito ka sa Amerika, mayaman ka na. At least tell them, not for now. Soon, mararating natin yan. Ang pinagkaiba lang naman dito sa Pinas is the opportunity. Kahit gaano ka kasipag, I think sa Pilipinas, magtrabaho as a nurse, kukulangin ka kasi kulang ang work and pay rate. Here, maraming work, konting sipag lang, makakaipon ka na. Ano na lang kaya kung sobrahan mo yung sipag, di ba? Yayaman ka na nun, di ba? Kaso, yun lang, mahirap ang sobra. At pagod din ang work dito. So, wag kayo masyadong magpagod. Balance lang. Okay? Just give yourself a time and trust the process, like what I'm doing right now. Alright, that's it for now. Bye.